What's going on, everybody? Jay the Black here. I am back with another video. Shout out to everybody that is tuning in. Hopefully y'all like this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for some of the best content on YouTube. So make sure y'all do that. Share it as well. Subscribe to the other channels. Also, this video is going to be me going back a little bit to my roots a little bit and speaking on red pill minded topics and issues, especially us as men deal with. Relationships have changed a lot. They've changed a lot, and some of us understand that, and some of us are not very quick to the party. You see, when you look at the landscape of the dating scene, social media has changed. Not just that, but dating applications have changed things as well. You have all these different dating applications. See, back then, let's say 10 years ago, you used to have to, even I would say 5 or 6 years ago, you had to go online on your computer and go to these dating websites, to go on Facebook, to go on even Twitter, whatever. But now you have all these apps. You got an app for anything nowadays. You know what I'm saying? To reach people, you can DM a person halfway across the country. You can DM people from other countries. It's easy to have access to people these days. It's very easy to have access to people. And for the most part, one of the things that you would think would bring people together is actually pushing them apart. And you have a lot of narcissism out there. And what these dating apps have done, like your Tinders and others, it's made everything so superficial. When women say that men always looking on the surface level, it's because that's all that's out there. Women present themselves only surface level wise. The only time they really express who they are is when they're only known for one thing and they want to get outside of that box. But by then it's too late. Men have already made their minds up. They've already made their minds up. And when you look at the dating market, you have a lot of people who are on the fence about being in a relationship. And then you have people who get into relationships for the wrong reasons. That's why you have to have the best intentions when it comes to a relationship. Get into it because you really want to build something. Get into it because you really want to start a family. You want to build together. Let me tell you the realities of it. I've been in relationships. I've talked to people in relationships. People in my family, my mother, my father. Like, from what I've seen and what I've been in myself, when you're lonely or when you're just with somebody because you want to sleep with them, it's not going to last very long. You have to get with that person because you have equal goals. You have things both of you want to accomplish, It can't just be one-sided. But what you're seeing nowadays is that relationships are only on the surface. More and more. The narcissism is growing. Women are becoming more narcissistic. But then they'll come to us and say, I do want a relationship. I do want this and that. But then you can sort of tell she's just lonely. She hasn't had sex in a while. It's starting to fuck with her mentally. So she is convincing herself that a relationship is the best way of going about getting what you want, which is what is sex. Once they have that, there's nothing left. Dudes too. You got dudes who are celibate or go without sleeping with a woman, and it starts to mentally get to them as well. So they'll start, selling these chicks dreams, talking about they gonna marry them, they gonna build this and that for them, and you have women who will fall for it. And then once that guy gets bored of that female, he kicks her to the curb, and she's hurt. She don't know what happened. I'll tell you what happened. You got with a guy who was looking to just sleep with somebody, And because he couldn't do it as a single guy casually, he said, damn it, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and perpetrate a complete fraud, and I'm going to promise her the world, when in reality, I'm just trying to hit it. And once I done hit it a few times, I don't want to deal with her no more. I don't even want to be around her no more. That's the reality when you get into things for the wrong reasons. And I notice a lot of females do that. They get into relationships for the wrong reasons. They get into relationships because of the fact that they're lonely, because they got needs too. They get horny too. They want to have sex with a guy, but they don't want to be considered a hoe. So instead of casually sleeping with different dudes, they will get with this guy, and it'll get to a point to where they get with him. They done slept with him, and now they want out. They don't really want a relationship. They don't want to be held down. They don't want a guy, on them about who they're talking to and being jealous. So they try to look for an exit, So you have a lot of people who are getting into these relationships for a lot of the wrong reasons, and they refuse to be honest about it. Just be honest about it. You got into that relationship for the wrong reasons. It's okay, It's okay to say, you know what, I got into this relationship for the wrong reasons. But people don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, is this what I want? Never go to a date horny. It's just like saying, never go to the grocery store hungry. Never go, on a date horny, and never go to a store hungry. Because if you go to the grocery store horny, go to the grocery store hungry, then you're gonna buy a bunch of junk that you don't need, that your body don't need. Just like when you go on a date, when you're horny, you willing to tell this woman anything to get her to sleep with you on the first night. I've been there. I've tried to one night. My success rate is anyway. There'll be times where I want to sleep. Well, that was when I want to sleep with chicks, and I would just go right in, with my best game, because I wanted to hit it that day, that hour, that minute, So especially us as men, we're always out there looking to conquer and looking to get with this chick and that chick. And with all these dating apps and all this social media, it makes it easier, That's why you have dudes who constantly flashing money and showing off their car and the different outfits, trying to, be, social media rappers, because they know that's what's going to draw women in. Women are very materialistic. When they see that you're out here and you're doing good, they think you're doing good financially, they're going to be drawn to that. Instead of being drawn to a guy who's in college or in medical school or in law school, or who is starting a business, they're not really drawn to that like that. I know some of y'all are, but a lot of women aren't. Let's just be real. A lot of women aren't drawn to that. A lot of women are drawn to the type of men they've always dealt with. These struggle rappers, these athletes. That's what they're drawn to. They're not drawn to men who are having to build what they have from the ground up. They have to get their hands dirty. They're not used to that. So we really have to look at it from that particular level. I know it's easy to say that, people are just, the times have changed, and it has. But I do feel like it's within all of us to change. You either want to change or you don't. And if you choose not to change, then your life is going to continue to suck. Your dating life is going to continue to suck. You're going to continue to be alone. There's a lot of attractive women who are single, and they're single for a reason, because they are choosing the wrong freaking men. And one of the main reasons why I'm doing this video is because this is to women. A lot of you women who are lonely and single, you feel like you are attractive enough to attract a man. But what type of man are you attracting? I've seen women who have a lot going for themselves. Date men who are literally bums, who don't do nothing. They're riding in the passenger side. They don't got no money in their pocket. They have to get their money from her. She buying his clothes, his shoes, getting his hair cut, having to fill out his applications because he don't want to do nothing. He ain't driven. See, when you're out here and you're making it easy for these men not to do nothing in life, they're gonna take full advantage of that. And then when we as red pill men say that, you got women who get angry at us, and they get angry at us because they know we're speaking the truth, but they don't want to look in the mirror. They're probably sitting next to some dusty ass man right now listening to this video, who are gonna be in the comment section talking about you're bashing women. It's easy to say somebody's bashing a woman when you are the woman that I'm talking about, when you are the woman who's hurt because you know the guy who you're giving it up to every night ain't gonna do shit for you financially, socially, spiritually, emotionally. You're stuck with a guy who knows that it didn't take much of anything for him to get you. And you're still the only one in that relationship that's putting in the effort. And you work, you go to school, and you come home to a guy who honestly feels like he can do better than you. That's a damn shame, but that's the society that we live in these days. So let me know what you think in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.